perceived truth. What is it? And what can we learn from understanding the way it informs our interaction with the world? Let's consider the idea that our conscious minds have what we are going to call a convenience bias. For instance, in any given second, the brain receives upwards of 10 million bits of information from the various senses. The conscious mind is able to process around 50 bits of information per second. It is processing that data on multiple levels simultaneously, contextually, relationally, emotionally, physiologically, etc. For that reason, we know in many ways the brain can act in a sort of autopilot for convenience's sake. This is the convenience bias, and it relates to perceived truth. One of the resultant outcomes is that on a functional level, our conscious mind ascribes a value of truth to certain operating principles. So it can make decisions and respond to circumstance without having to process unnecessary data. We also know that on some level we create our own reality, or our mind's perception of reality in a very real sense. There are shared things we can all agree on about our experience of reality that allow us to function as relational beings, but we all perceive those elements in a unique way. However, it's not a concept that we hold in our minds on a daily level. We see all the world around us, and for the sake of efficiency and comfort, our brain decides in the moment, and without introspection, that many things are simply truths and acts accordingly. When beginning to introspect about the self and our situational contexts, it is always a good starting point to look for perceived truths and to explore them. What other truths exist, for example, when you view the self or circumstance from another perspective? Even if right now you can't see or acknowledge any other truths, it is a good starting point to acknowledge they exist. Let's try an exercise. Think about your perception of me and the ideas I have presented to you today. Do you perceive me as real? Have I spoken to you person to person?